You are back. Ignatius, Una, these souls have taken their first steps onto the path that leads to the embrace of the bleeding heart of the plague. Soon they will begin their final act. You shall begin your final march toward your destiny. You will witness what was ordained for you long ago, from the moment you first arrived at the island asylum. I can feel it. You were sick. You carried the plague. It was your destiny. Fate, however, steered your path in another direction for a time. Yet here you are, the lost child, making its way home. Like Una, I shall find silence. I shall finally catch my breath. I cannot wait for that moment. And so, my final act unfolds. Let us close our eyes together.
sorry, Wanderer, but you cannot rest here. Not yet. I sense my brother's soul within you. The pull of his destiny is stronger than any of our desires. I am, well, his half-sister. A very important distinction at court. To Arthur, though, I was always just sister. The one he liked, not only loved. I stood by his side, listened to him, and spoke my mind when he needed it. And when the visions came, I was the only one who understood they weren't just madness. My poor brother. I couldn't bear to see him suffer. There was little I wouldn't do if it meant I could help him. They came with the plague. The land was ravaged by sickness, and Arthur's mind was plagued by waking nightmares. He heard a voice, clear as any other, calling to him, relentlessly, day and night, begging him to return to Avalon. Oh, but how does one return to a place they have never seen before? He'd come to me in the dead of night, afraid he was going mad. But I knew better. I heard it too, though faintly. To me, they were merely echoes of a distant despair. In a way, I think I did, but even now I'm not sure. I followed the visions, though most of the court thought I'd lost my mind, or that I'd secretly caught the Red Death and it had taken over my senses. Sir Estor was one of the very few who believed me, and the only one brave enough to join me on my pilgrimage to a plague-ridden land. The visions showed me a place of beginnings, bathed in creeping scarlet. So, that's where we went. The bleeding heart of the plague. With every step, the voice grew louder. And when I finally saw it, it felt as though it was beating inside my own chest. Each heartbeat was like a knife twisting, a festering wound that could never heal. That's when I understood. The homelands are lost, and Avalon is truly our only salvation. There was something almost human about it, and yet it was so terribly alien. It was like staring at your own reflection in a distorted mirror. Everything seemed familiar, yet profoundly wrong. I've had centuries to reflect on it, and I think I've almost uncovered the truth. A truth that's both simple and devastating. The heart is a grief made manifest. The sorrow of a mother who lost her child. Undoubtedly, yes. These are three aspects that could not exist without one another. There was a heart, struck by immense grief. That grief gave birth to a force as untamable, as relentless as the plague. I believe that there's no cure for such matters, except time. And time is a luxury only we humans have. I don't know. I thought leading Arthur to Avalon would keep us safe. But then it followed us here, too. I'm not sure there's anything we can do to cure a bleeding heart. For a being that exists outside of time, with only a rudimentary grasp of mortality, there's no such thing as an end. I doubt she wants everyone else to suffer with her. She just doesn't know how to stop. I saw that staying meant death for all of us. Nothing in the homelands could stop the plague. And the voice, it kept calling night and day, promising safety on Avalon shores. Arthur once told me it sometimes felt familiar to him. though he could never say why. Even then, he wasn't sure if he could trust it. But after I returned with Estor, he didn't hesitate anymore. We sailed for Avalon, and the voice led us straight to its shores. You could say that. One way or another, every prophet becomes a captive to their followers. Some chains are just more visible than others. The Red Priests like to call me theirs. So, theirs I must remain. After we left the homelands, people started listening to me. Not just to my brother. It was terrifying, stepping out of his shadow. But I did my best to guide them. You see, no one becomes a prophet on their own. They're made by the people who need someone to follow. I became what they needed. Sometimes a guiding hand, other times a whip over their heads. Keep going. Take it from someone who has lived far too long. Some decisions are out of your hands. You just have to make the best of what's left. You'll do fine. You're in excellent company after all. And Arthur, I'm sorry I can't stand by your side this time. But know you're always in my heart, brother. This is for both of you. May we all find peace at the end of this path. Please, take care of my brother. Now go. There's nothing more for you here.
My sister. I didn't think I'd ever see her again. She was gone. I've always felt like I failed her. I was her older brother, and it was my responsibility to protect her. And yet, she ended up taking care of me. And she paid dearly for it. I'm still not sure. Kai always stepped into whatever role was needed and made it fit her perfectly. Blind devotion was never something she sought, but if she thought it served a purpose, I know she wouldn't hesitate. I want to see her only as my beloved sister, but that was never all she was. A half-sibling is only halfway to being a bastard, even if acknowledged. Like Morgaine, Kai wasn't well respected at court. But unlike Morgaine, she never met disdain with more disdain. Just pity. The narrow-mindedness of others usually only saddened her. Morgaine was proud, and she wore that pride like spiky armor. She was also stubborn, never able to admit she was wrong. Kai was different. Softer, but not weak. Quietly unyielding, full of unwavering conviction. Sometimes I envied her for that. But most of the time I was simply grateful. I do. I always have. She always stayed calm, no matter what was thrown at her. I don't think I ever saw her hesitate. When she made a decision, she was certain. I miss her presence and her counsel. Maybe things would have turned out differently if she'd been by my side.
Always a pleasure to... Hello. There's no need for violence. Good day. Goodbye. Good day.
I wasn't expecting company.
Look around you. Everything you see doesn't exist. We're not here. And the real Lord, the Four-Armed King, is lost forever. It's just greedy, deceitful lords everywhere. False kings. There is no king. Sagramore wanted too much. And Vayne, he doesn't even know what he wants. Nothing. There's just nothing. I've seen his cursed kingdom. I've seen it haunt my endless nightmares. A kingdom now forgotten by all. An aberration that should never have existed. I saw it. He made them kneel and cry his name. Sagramore! 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 Present but absent. Always absent. Always uncertain. Kunark is doomed, as is Yvain's entire bloodline. Gold. Ah, yes. Gold. The true nothingness.
Yes? Sir Renard. What a shame he ended up like this. Don't get me wrong. It's good that he's dead. He just wasted his life. He came from a noble family, was tall, strong, brave. He loved dueling so much that he started challenging everyone for any reason, or none at all. Eventually, he killed a royal messenger and was banished. He must have been a tough opponent. You deserve the reward. I'll await your return.
Have some spare food or coin? Spare a coin for the hungry.
There's no need for violence. Hello there.
Investigate ourselves.
Sword.
I will be your downfall. Strength of 100 men. I see fear in your eyes. Don't worry. My reward will end that utter waste of time. I simply can't understand why you resist so much. Why do you keep going? Surely you must see how pointless it all is. Go on, let me reward you. Death is the greatest gift, I assure you. Go on, let me reward you. Death is the greatest gift, I assure you. Still alive? How revolting. Let's fix that, shall we? Why do you keep going? Surely you must see how pointless it all is.
You're not one of the rats scurrying about this place. Truth be told, you don't seem to belong here at all. Perhaps you shouldn't be here, eh? But in the grand scheme of things, it's none of my concern. Do you need something? Name's Gatto. Once upon a time, I used to be a rat catcher at the court of King Sagramore. Later, fate led me to catching rats here, outside the cold walls of Sagramore's castle. A king is a king. He bears the flaws inherent to any ruler, as if the crown itself bestows similar faults upon each bearer. But there's little to say about Sagramore. It's the queen, his wife, who is the true delight. She's scheming, spiteful, and beautiful. The ideal woman. Trust me, I've met King Sagramore on many occasions. He doesn't make much of a grand impression, and he used to have quite the short temper. There's not much around here. The most important places are my shop and Sagramore's court, just over there. You might also run into the Shroom Knight, the Queen's personal lapdog. Though he's a knight, he's a rat of the lowest order. I can't make heads or tails of him. No idea what he needs. If you want, go ahead and talk to him. I've grown tired of that fellow. Waiting for a customer. Are you interested? Let's try. Ah. Let's... How can I... Let's...
Greetings to you, strange soul. You carry a light that doesn't belong to the Sagramor's realm. You're not from here, are you? I fear, then, that you won't be able to grant me absolution, at least not yet. Only a pure soul can bear the sins of another. My soul was once like that. I thought it would be enough to... I don't know what I thought. I've been here for so long. Not just anyone's. I took upon myself the sins of my queen. I had no choice. I swore an oath of loyalty. But if I had known the weight of the queen's misdeeds... Sometimes I wonder if this is my punishment. A punishment for consorting with someone so corrupt. I don't know. I sought meaning in the All-Mother, pondered the truths of the Red Priests. I searched for a merciful God, but all was silent. Then I came here, for Sagramore, soon to be king, was about to ascend to the pantheon of demigods, and beside him stood the Queen, as radiant as dawn, gentle as the light of spring. I swore to serve them until the end of time, yet she desired a true kingdom, regardless of the means. Next, there was the descent into the depths where we now find ourselves. This came to pass at the Queen's behest. How twisted and corrupted must one's soul be to desire something so dreadful, to rule alone over the world of shadows. I was stupid. That. It may be my only solace in this vale of tears. The fungus helps me keep my senses, attuning me to the rhythm of this forsaken kingdom, making me somehow understand. I feel the footsteps of the souls wandering about. I feel their ever unfulfilled needs and desires. The fungus conveys this to me quite clearly. Yes, and in a way, I accept the workings of this wretched place. I feel as though I am a part of it. It gives me some sense of belonging. And perhaps there is another future for this realm. Perhaps if we are all connected here, forming one single organism, it might lighten our burden? Who knows? Apparently, this is what the world looks like without gods. Everything that was meant to be born here was supposed to fulfill a beautiful mission. Instead, became an endless wandering in the abyss. Sagramore took a wife, a woman whose power no one was aware of, much like her true intentions. And here it is, the kingdom deep in the abyss, with its abysmal king and queen. Scroll. Indeed, I recall seeing druidic sages arriving at the court long ago. I also witnessed powerful acts of magic. Surely the court custodian might know more. But you must forgive me. I cannot provide you with a more specific answer. May goodness and light guide you.
Ah, a new guest in our court. Welcome, stranger, to the humble halls of King Sagramor's castle. Are you here to seek an audience with the king and queen? Many are eager to see them, though most are the old regulars. I'm sure their highnesses will be pleased to see a new face. We haven't had many guests of late. Oh, no need to trouble yourself with me, my lady. I am but a simple custodian, a lowly servant of our gracious majesties. Though, if I had performed my duties better, perhaps there wouldn't be so much constant dying. Oh, it's no big deal. We live here in perpetual suspension. Time can't touch us, and it's all thanks to the Queen and her sisters, who decided that would be best for everyone. Well, as long as you don't sin against their majesties, then you might share my fate. Or that of Sir Stygander, who you may have encountered on your way to the castle. Well, I wanted to feel the softness of the royal bed. Yeah, no, don't look at me like that. It's not what you think. The Queen's honor is intact, at least where I'm concerned. But I happened to be in the chamber when King Sagramor appeared. He wasn't alone, and his companion wasn't the Queen. It was one of the Harpist sisters. But shush. The king didn't notice me, but the Queen caught on to my unease. She tried to force me to confess what I had seen. I think she suspected it involved one of the king's indiscretions. In the end, I was the one who paid for his sin. Oh well, it's the lot of servants to bear the burden of their lord's transgressions. Loyalty, of course. Sir Stygander swore to our queen that he would remain faithfully by her side, and that he would take every sin of hers upon his shoulders. That was a very unfortunate pledge, as it later turned out. Now our brave and loyal Sir Stygander is atoning for sins that aren't his. But breaking his vows would be a sin in itself, requiring even more atonement. It's a no-win situation. But such is our fate. Oh, I'm sure they will. But you might have to wait a bit. The king's schedule is completely full for the foreseeable future. And, before you ask, no, there's no way to speed it up. King Sagramor is very particular about treating all his subjects equally. Unless you're aiming to become the court jester, there's not much I can do to help. Though, now that I think about it, perhaps if the Queen's sisters put in a good word for you, you might just get to the front of the line. Oh, that would be Miss Clare and the midwife. Should I elaborate about the royal family in any particular order? She's the youngest of the sisters. She used to be so sweet and innocent. But now, well, I shouldn't gossip. I'm already trying to make up for that. Just know that Miss Clare isn't a bad person. She became envious of the Queen's love for the king and ended up chasing after boars who never really returned her feelings. I don't know much more than that. Talking to Miss Clare is rather, difficult. You'll see what I mean. She's a wonderful woman, completely dedicated to family. Her life's mission was to bring a child to the royal couple into this world. She loves all the royal children. Unfortunately, none of them are, suited to inherit our kingdom. You'll be fine, as long as you don't insult her family. I'm glad you asked, my lady. All you need to do is kill me, and the keys to the sisters' chambers will reveal themselves to you. Yes, exactly. It's no big deal. I've died thousands of times. That's just how it is for me. Ever since Sagramor's kingdom was established, I've been the keeper of the keys to all the chambers in the castle. And with magic, when a spell says, "Guard at the cost of one's own life," well, it tends to take that phrase quite literally. If I died forever, I wouldn't be able to guard the keys anymore, right? So I come back to life every time someone needs a key from me. That's just how things work around here.
No, not Bors. Bors in the letters. The letters to Bors, to beloved. These, all of them, I write. Letters to beloved Bors, I write. I write only letters to Bors, to beloved. Yours, Claire. Sister has a tablet. Once she had it. Once, sister. There is no love in her. There is much in me. For Bors. For beloved. Bors, my beloved. Once upon a time, there lived a young maiden named Claire. She had 2 sisters, and together they resided in a resplendent castle within a land untouched by the cruelty of time. In this unchanging realm, there was neither the sorrow of endings nor the joy of beginnings. No sunrises, no sunsets, and no seasons to mark the days. Such was the design of the eldest sister, whose insatiable hunger for control bound the kingdom in eternal stillness. She hoarded love and devotion as a dragon hoards treasure. Yet for all her power, her heart remained empty, cursed to feel nothing for eternity. Claire, the youngest and gentlest of the sisters, moved quietly through the cold, unchanging halls. Her beauty was, too, untouched by age or hardship. Yet unlike her sisters, Claire possessed a secret. A flicker of defiance against the curse that gripped their land. Her heart remained free, protected by a force beyond even her eldest sister's reach. True love. This love bound her to a noble young man named Bors, whose memory was her light in the kingdom's shadow. Though torn apart by dark magic, Claire refused to surrender to despair. She knew that giving up hope would mean losing herself entirely, succumbing to the same cold emptiness that claimed her sisters. So she endured, her heart steadfast in its belief that love could shatter even the darkest of spells, and that one day, somehow, she and Bors would reunite. It was the height of summer when young Bors first laid eyes on the maiden of his heart, working in the fields, his skin bronzed by the sun. He paused as the sound of hooves drew near. A lone maiden approached, her hair shimmering like spun gold, her cheeks rosy and her waist snugly drawn into a spring green. While the other peasants bowed their heads, Bors stared unabashedly. Sensing his gaze, the maiden turned sharply, startling her steed. The horse reared and she tumbled from the saddle, straight into Bors's waiting arms. Their eyes met, and in that instant, the maiden felt herself lost. A warmth bloomed upon her cheeks, but a deep foreboding stirred in her stomach, for she knew there would never be another man who could claim her heart so completely. From that day forward, she rode past the fields daily, offering Bors water and sharing quiet moments beneath the shade of a willow tree. Days stretched into nights, and the two surrendered to love. But one day, as the maiden passed the field, her beloved Bors was nowhere to be found. She waited beneath the willow until darkness fell, and reluctantly returned to the castle. The next day, and the one after that, she returned. But Bors never did. Summer turned to autumn, and the maiden ceased her rites. She withdrew into the shadowed stillness of her tower, her heart heavy with unending sorrow. Unbeknownst to her, Bors's bones lay bleached and brittle beneath the sun, hidden in the very field where their love had bloomed. For in Sagramor's kingdom, no crime was graver nor punishment swifter than love. Long ago, there lived a maiden named Claire, fair of face and gentle of heart, cursed by her cruel sister to remain imprisoned in a high tower. Forbidden to step beyond its walls or look out of the window, she spent her days weaving a tapestry of the outside world, a world she could glimpse only through the reflection in an enchanted mirror. Yet Claire dared not lift her eyes from the loom, for the curse was absolute. If she ever stopped her weaving to gaze out the window herself, the fragile thread of her life would snap. One day, the mirror revealed a grand procession on the road below. Among them rode a knight clad in gleaming silver armor, a sapphire cape following behind him. His warm eyes and copper hair struck Claire's heart with longing. Unable to resist, she rose and stepped toward the window for a glimpse of the gallant knight. The moment she moved, a terrible pain gripped her chest and the mirror shattered. Claire, knowing the curse had claimed her, fled the tower. She reached the road just as the procession passed, grasped the knight's cape, and collapsed. Sir Bors turned a sudden tug, leapt from his horse and caught her. Her breath grew faint, and she whispered, "Do not grieve, for I am glad to have seen you, my knight." With those words, her spirit departed. Sir Bors wept bitterly, for never had he seen a maiden of such beauty and grace. His heart swelled with both joy and despair, for he knew he would never again love another as he loved the fair and cursed maiden, Claire. In the days of King Sagramor, there lived Bors, a wandering minstrel whose songs were famed for their beauty and sorrow. Among his melodies was one that bore the weight of his heart, the ballad of a lady named Claire. Claire, a noblewoman of unmatched grace, had been betrayed by her jealous sister, who sold her to a rival lord for power. Locked in a distant tower, her pleas for rescue went unheard. But Bors, who had once sung for her in her father's court and fallen deeply in love, learned of her plight and vowed to save her. He journeyed to the castle where she was held and sang beneath its mist-shrouded walls each night, hoping she might hear him. At last, a faint voice joined his song. Claire, her spirit unbroken despite her captivity, determined, Bors devised a daring plan. Each evening he sang in the castle hall, lulling the court into an enchanted trance. When the moment was right, he slipped away to free Claire. Together they fled through shadowed halls, hearts pounding with hope. But as they reached the forest edge, disaster struck. The alarm was raised, and the guards gave chase. Armed only with his loot, Bors faced the guards to protect Claire. In the struggle, he was struck down, his body falling beside his broken loot. Claire was dragged back to the castle, her heart forever bound to the minstrel who had died for her. I was writing something important. Do you know what it was? Here, you've read these notes on the stacks of paper. My handwriting. I must have written them, yes. Strange. No, I'm sorry. Yes, Bors, my former lover. I have fond memories of him. Really? Perhaps that was true once. I longed for my own Sagramore. I craved love, true love. A beloved, not a dog. My dearest Bors, I'm sorry. My sister. I have 2 sisters, one older and another the eldest. She's the caregiver. She nurtures, she helps, she tries. She wanted Sagramore. She wanted the crown. She has everything except love. She does. She holds the power of the men here. She has everything. She has no desire for love. She wants to rule. Love is not necessary. Power is. Fear is. It's at the very top, above all else. To see everything. To hear everything. Enough. She sees all, hears all. Her arms are long. They're everywhere. Go now, go.
Who goes there? Are you here to see the children? Oh, my sweet babies. I lost them. I lost them all before they even got here. They scattered, poor things, like dandelions in the wind. My little flowers, they're all gone. Met their grim fates within these castle walls. They die and die at the hands of those who should have loved them, or through their neglect. Poor little things. They deserved so much better. After all, they were barely more than blood on our sister's white sheets. They are here because I wished for them so desperately. I hoped my sister would be happy. But you cannot force something that was never meant to be. Yet I tried, and tried, and tried. Now they haunt my dreams and waking hours, while the Queen has forgotten she ever carried them under her heart. No, no, I swear they are here. They are all here. Our little princes and princesses. They never were, and never will be. Yet they give me no rest. Last night, I dreamt of our brave Wieland pierced by 100 arrows. 2 nights before, he was swallowed by the water. He never left his mother's womb, yet he calls to me always. But I cannot find him. So I write. I write when he last showed himself to me, so I'd know, so I could go to him if I ever had a moment of peace. Really? You'd do that? And you won't hurt them, will you? Please, I cannot bear to hear their cries anymore. I need them close, so I can watch over them as I was meant to. If I could keep that one promise I made to my sister, perhaps then I could finally know peace. Let me think. Let me think. Renaud, the Crown Prince, loved to stand on the balcony, gazing down at the gardens, watching the legacy that will never come to be. Little Noah, covered in blood. His mother would wash him again and again, scrubbing endlessly. It feels like he rarely leaves the bathtub. Oh, and Hugo, such a sweet child, sleeping soundly in his cot. Sleeping and sleeping, always and forever. He has his favorite lullaby,